You are about to experience the result of hard work and dedication from the City of Champions, Cleveland's own, 90th's finest. Self-made, hard-working entrepreneurs, unequivocally raw, no holds barred. This is Epiphany Media.
Yo, what is happening?
It was a preview of next week's show. That's what happened.
Man, so we're gonna jump right in.
It's crazy. We never jump right in.
I know, man. It's
Like, don't worry what happened. Don't worry about the last 3 weeks. We're just gonna hop right in like nothing happened.
yeah, man. Nothing happened. The only thing that happened is we got a 5K coming up. It's already June. We got like 13 days. 13 days. So we rounding the corner. So you haven't signed up for the 5K. Do it right now. Go ahead and click off the video for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Jump on your Google. Go ahead and put it in that epiphany.5k.run. Go ahead and sign up. June 17th, 7 a.m. is when we're going to pick up, have bags and stuff ready for people. The actual race starts at 7:30. It's going to be real good, real fun like last year. You know what I'm saying? And we'd love to see you out there with us.
That's
Epiphany.
early as hell. I'm gonna speak for the people who don't like getting up.
I don't. I'm one of those people, but I'll be there. If y'all look, if y'all don't got, if racers don't got to be there to 7, imagine how early. We gonna have to
But
be there.
I think, like, I don't. The park don't open till what, 7?
I don't know, but we got to be there early. So we got to break some laws to put this race on.
Hey, but the Cleveland police they gonna be there, so we be all right.
Yeah, that's what they say. But they said that last year too. So we'll see what happens. But epiphany.5k.run. Go ahead and sign up today and join us out there. Really getting close to the crunch time, so saying you might have to get your medal mailed to you or get your shirt sent to you or whatever, but you can still sign up for all that stuff and we'll make sure we get it to you. So sign up ASAP and we'll see you on the 17th. On the 17th. Um, so yeah, so just like I said, jumping into it, we're going to as you guys seen the title, we're going to jump into part 3 of our career series. Um, and today we want to talk about, um, you know, finding out what jobs are a better fit, or a good fit for you. Like, in the past we've talked about doing stuff that you're just good at because it's just a skill that you have, maybe how you were raised or grew up, and then looking at stuff that you actually want to do. Saying like what would be your passion. So when you put all that stuff into a blender and you see what comes out as in what jobs would be right for you, like what jobs would be right. um so we took assessments off air, so we didn't have to bore y'all with the with the questions. um so yeah, so what your assessment say as you take a spoonful of food? the
That
time
was
the
that was
time
just perfect timing.
time it couldn't be worse.
Um, from what test do you want me to start with?
Just I guess what um the Guardian one. I guess we can start with that one. So it's like a kind of like a personality test about what type of jobs, uh what kind of, like, mentally, what kind of job works well for you. So that could be a number of different things. You know what I'm saying? Or take a number of different factors into account, and it spit out four different categories, and I think we both got Guardian right.
Yeah, we both got Guardian.
Um, let me see. So, did you find out anything as far as because the test we did, it wasn't very clear. Like they didn't have great descriptions on like what all the things meant. So I guess it was it was just enough for you to take it and run and do your own research or whatever. But the description for Guardians is Guardians have natural talent in managing goods and services, from supervision to maintenance and supply. Excuse me. They all use their skills to keep things running smoothly in their families, communities, schools, churches, hospitals, and businesses. Um, that sound like you? That sound like it fit? That description fits you?
Um, I guess. Like I don't. I'm still trying to like. They want you to basically pay to find out to get your report because I can't. I'm trying to get the report, but they want you to purchase the report to get an exact thing, which we ain't doing.
Well, when they make all the promises that it's free or whatever, then you gotta pay. That just make it suck.
But it does say as guardians tend to be dutiful, cautious, humble, focused, and on credentials. Pride themselves on being dependable, helpful, and hardworking. They make loyal mates, responsible parents, and stabilizing leaders. They are concerned citizens who will trust authority, join groups, seek security, prize gratitude, and dream of meting out justice.
um, yeah. So essentially, I think uh, like overall, like an overview, I think it sound pretty like me. But then you got the Guardian category that splits into four different categories. Like it get it get really in depth. But I do know that Guardian um, like personality type makes up the majority of the world. I think it's like 47%, I believe it said. What do you say?
I said, really, that's interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know why. Um, but I don't know. I thought, I don't know. I just figured it would have been something else. Um, because most, just working, it seems like most people don't care about other people or your coworkers or whatever. So I don't know. I have a hard time believing that 47% of the world, like that's a lot of people.
I mean, like you're in direct contact with your coworkers all day for at least at a minimum 5 days a week. So I mean, you having conversations. You know what I'm saying
Right.
about whatever, but then you have to get along with these people in order to do a good job. Because if you're on the same team, I mean, you're gonna have people complaining about, oh, I'm doing too much work, or they don't want to step up and do most of the work. So they just put it on you like, hey, I'm doing too much. Now you got to do your work and their work because you may be the manager or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
You're trying to have a rapport with people, but then at the same time tell them tell them what to do or work together. But some people don't want to work together. Some people just want to tell you what to do, which may cause problems.
I think that's a big problem. Like people, I don't know, like what's the saying? Like everybody can't be everybody can't be cowboys. Like somebody got to be the Indians, or everybody can't be a boss. Like somebody got to work. You know what I'm saying? So it can definitely become an issue when people um I don't want to say take it personal or whatever. Uh, it can go both ways though, right? Because if you're a leader or whatever, you're in that role, but you're not like taking care of your people or whatever, or you're doing stuff in a harsh way, then of course they're gonna rebel against you and all that stuff. But some people just like myself included to an extent, like we just got a problem with authority, man. We just don't like people telling us what to do. You know what I'm saying? And so that can always cause friction with your, your superiors or whatever.
See, I don't have a problem with people telling me what to do, but if you tell me what to do, then I see you sitting down all day, not doing work, you're just delegating your work to other people. That's what I have a problem with. You know,
Yeah.
and that quickly, your staff will turn on you because they see you not doing any work. Like we collectively see you not doing nothing. Now, if you say, "Hey, can you go take out the trash?" and you're like, "Cool," and then I look up and I see you helping me with the trash, now you gain my respect.
Right.
When you tell me to do something and I look over my shoulder and I don't see you, it's like, all right, cool. He helped me with such. Cool, I'm not even tripping.
Right.
Some people don't know how to do that, which I say damn near 90% of managers.
Well, that's true. And dude, I always wonder that, like, man, how do these terrible managers become managers? Like, how like who chose these people for these positions? Like, because it don't fit. Now, if it's just a seniority type situation, I guess if they're like, oh, this person just got the most experience, then fine. But other than that, man, I've had some terrible, terrible supervisors and managers, and I was like, man, like how like how did you get this position? Like you're terrible with people. You're not compassionate at all. Like how did you get this position? And most of my adult life has been working in the medical field. You know what I'm saying? Where you're dealing with patients, you're dealing with older people, you're dealing with um, people with disabilities and all this type of stuff. I always wonder like how did this person get this position, man? I just don't be understanding like at all.
I remember a long time ago, um, it was somebody they were working at like Annie Ann's or something like some fast food court, mall food.
Hmm.
And I said that totally wrong. I meant mall food court food. But I guess, their grandfather died or whatever. And I was like, hey, the funeral of the day, I gotta take off work. Or the funeral tomorrow, I gotta take off work. And the manager said, well, if you don't come to work, then you fired. Like, what?
The thing that was like on the internet or something, right?
No, this is a firsthand story.
Oh, oh, that's crazy.
So of course they didn't come to work. They at the funeral. The food stand next to that Annie Ann's was like, hey, we'll hire you. So he was literally working next door,
Right next door.
hired, going to his grandfather's funeral, man. That's wild to me. That,
Yeah.
that they would even say that is what's wild to me.
Yeah, so like stuff like that, I just, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if bereavement is a legal thing that's awarded to people or not or whatever, but it's at least a courtesy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at least a courtesy that should be given to people when you lose a loved one. Like, I never understood that part. Um,
Yeah.
not at all.
And people don't have compassion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true.
Oh, oh, you were chosen for the job because you showed leadership skills and you showed that you know how to manage a building. But when it comes to managing, people, especially people that have feelings and not treat them like they're just a replaceable item, that's when most managers have problems.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Um,
Like,
Angela, thanks for joining us. Go ahead.
like with me personally, let's say I got a coworker who wants to go on vacation. It's like, all right, cool. Ain't tripping. Oh, you want to take off? All right, cool. No, I'm not tripping. I don't trip about shit like about stuff like that because I want to go to vacation. I want to take days off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Why would I give
Right.
you? You know what I'm saying? I just got to step up since you're not gonna be here. But I have a problem with you just randomly not showing up to work. You know,
Yeah.
not calling saying you're gonna be work or wait to the last, 5 minutes before your shift saying that you're not gonna come in. Like, nah, that's I have a problem. Not being
Yeah.
of my time, you know.
Yeah. No, that's nuts though. The people that wait to the absolute last minute. Yeah, I never understood those people, man. Let me see. So the four types of guardians. Like I said, this thing don't give us great information as far as like uh descriptions or whatever of like it don't really break it down. I guess they want you to to pay for it or whatever, like we said at the beginning. But the four types of guardians are the guardian supervisor, the guardian inspector, the guardian provider, and the guardian protector. So I mean, this has made me think about uh, our last live show, and we was talking about masculinity, and what's the roles. You know what I'm saying? So now I can kind of see, what I'm saying, see us fitting into those categories more so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially for the provider one.
Right.
If you're a guardian, hey, you got to make sure the finances are straight.
Hmm.
If you're a protector, you got to make sure, wherever you're keeping your head on a swivel. You know? So, yeah. Hey, so we wasn't just saying what we were saying. Now it's proven.
Now it's right. Now it's backed up by science.
Right.
So let me see. So the characteristics of a guardian supervisor is somebody that's comfortable evaluating other and tend to judge how a person is doing in terms of his or her compliance with protocol. They take control of any group, and they are part of the part of defining roles, assigning duties, and creating structure. Uh, that's all on you. I'm gonna go through all four of them, but that sound like you like when you're in a group setting. Do you like take charge? Like, do you got to be the leader of the group? Are you delegating?
It, I want to, yes. By the time that I just, I try to, because I know that let's say, for example, we go to, I don't know, like, this is random, like Cedar Point or something.
Mhm.
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, we should hit these rides first because I know that they're going to be hard to get on later in the park around like 12.
Mhm.
I think we should hit those rides first, then shoot back to the front of the park,
Mhm.
you know, the older rides. That's what I think about in my head, but I know that if I come off like that, then it might be seen as like, I don't know. Like, so I just go slow. But in my mind, I don't be thinking that though.
No, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't do a ton in a group setting since like high school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But even in that situation, I think I did sometimes. I feel like I'm good at delegating. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's like if it's strangers, and that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But if it's classmates or coworkers or something like somebody that you had a little bit of time to kind of see how they are and how they act and react and all that stuff, then I feel like I'm good at picking out people's strengths and weaknesses, and then I can say, hey, saying you do this or whatever, and then I like you just do your strength. That person over there, you do your strength, and then I'll just do everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all do the stuff that y'all are good at, and then let me do everything else. You know what I'm saying? Angel says she the same way. She like to take charge in the group. Um, yeah, that's where I feel like where I'm at. But let's read the other ones just to make sure. So you have guardian inspector. They say that they are the guardians of institutions and can be described as being steadfast, dedicated, and consistent. They are counted on to follow through and get the job done in a precise and thorough manner. See, that kind of sound like me too. Not to be like, oh, I'm all of these. You know what I'm saying? But dedicated and consistency is stuff that I try to do in my normal life. So you know, what I'm saying, it just so happens to flow into work. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, when I try to do anything, I try to I try to bring perfection to it, which could be my downfall because I work on something longer than I need to, but I just want it to be perfect. Like I don't care what it is. I just want it to be perfect, and I get frustrated when it's not perfect.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. And you know, some of these, I'm sure they overlap because you know it's all under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure some of these, I'm sure some of these overlap. Um, so the next one is guardian provider. So guardians take pride in being dependable and trustworthy. This is the overlap. If there's a job to be done, they can be counted on to put their shoulder to the wheel. I've never heard that phrase before. Counted on to put their shoulders to the wheels. Guardians also believe in law and order, and sometimes worry that respect for a third. Sometimes worry that respect for authority, even a fundamental sense of right and wrong, is being lost. Now that don't sound like me. The bottom part, because I got a problem with authority. I do like stuff to be black or white, either it's right or wrong, or is this or that. But the other stuff, they kind of lost me.
Well, some people in a position of power abuse authority, so I understand where you're coming from that end. But at the same time, there does need to be tiers, and people need to be, you know, aware of their position and whatever it is. Like they have an Indian trying to act like a chief. Like,
Right. I just kind of think that people, and not that I'm just got to be the smartest person in the room, but some people are incompetent in common sense, or you know what I'm saying, in treatment of others, or you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it. And so it makes me, like you said, like when you just say stuff or whatever, but don't have any action behind it, I look at you weird from now on, like what do you like you're not helping doing you all you're doing is complaining about stuff, like you're not actually um doing anything to solve, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like you're incompetent, and then you know, I would say all my respect, but all my professional respect for you goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that that's right, but that's, I don't know. I like to be efficient, and if you plan on not being efficient, then I got a problem with the way that I got a problem with your authority. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but have you ever worked at a job and you got somebody who's not the boss, acting like the boss, trying to tell you something?
That's probably the worst.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you
That's
don't
probably worse.
because of their not even the boss. So I can't respect, but I have more respect for the boss, than you. Now, if the boss is on some, bull just like you, then okay, you might get the same treatment. But until then, the boss, like when a boss walk in the room, you get off your phone. Like
Right.
you don't want to test the boss that authority, but you got you know if somebody ever walk in the room, they got their phone out, you got your phone out. Just respect it.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, man. Depending on the boss, like I might keep my phone out. Like, man,
Yeah.
like I really don't respect your authority, man. I really don't respect your authority. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that I do respect or whatever, the ones that's actually working on stuff, then for sure. And my thinking, I don't even be doing it like, oh, that's the boss. Let me put my phone away or whatever. But just out of a respect thing, like, all right, you know, maybe got something to say, maybe they, you know, got whatever going on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a fine line, but you know, if you're good at what you do, like if you're a good leader, if you're a good, you know what I'm saying? I remember being young and I'm like, man, they ain't no manager, man. That's just a supervisor or whatever. I'm like, you know, managers know how to manage their people. They know how to put people in positions of strength. I used to like that used to be my song cry when I was younger. Like, y'all terrible at managing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you a manager but you can't manage your people? Like, don't make no sense.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So So that's where kind of I draw my line or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want that title, man, you better be doing something for it, or you better be using it properly. If not, then I got a hard time. I got a hard time respecting you, man. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that's definitely what I done did it before though. Angel said, I don't always like it. I'm cool with taking the back seat, but naturally I just step up. Yeah, some, and it depends on the group too. You know what I'm saying? Like like the more you know the people, the more you can kind of play your position. Like if it's family, then you know the part that you play. If it's you know, like back in high school, like I said, classmates, you can kind of like figure out uh where the hierarchy is, and then you kind of go from there. But um, I don't know. It depends on the group for me.
Yeah, it depends on in a professional setting or with friends. Like something like you with your friends, you really don't be trying to be like a lead. Like how you gonna be a leader and y'all all friends?
Yes.
That's not gonna work out, man. But then is a little.
Yeah, I used to play that Ti song where you like I run a record label and a crew of G's, like you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, now look, now you right about that, but sometimes friend groups have a you gotta have a leader sometimes because um you know, especially when y'all like friends, so you're usually younger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like high school, middle school, whatever. Some people are idiots. You know what I'm saying? But they cool, so you keep them around. But they dumb. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to make decisions for the group. Like I've been the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been the guy. Think about 90th, man. Like I never got in trouble on 90th, but that don't mean I wasn't telling people what to do. That doesn't mean I wasn't dumb enough to do it. Like so I'm gonna tell you to do it. Like yeah, like I agree with you, but sometimes a group need a leader, man.
Yeah, I get it, especially like I would say going out, you know, going out to the club when we were younger and stuff. Like it got to be that person who stays sober enough
Yeah,
to make sure everybody get home.
yeah. It's a reason I always drove. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason I drove every time. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we making it.
Yeah, look,
We making it.
look, I know when you drove, like, I could drink as much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Exactly.
Like, hey, drinking as you're at here is reminding me of those times. You're
Yes,
black on cognac.
man. Stuff's pretty good. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. Uh, we say, well, back. Go ahead.
I ain't telling.
Uh, Angel said, "Oh, I bet you were a handful when you first started working. You already said you have a problem with authority." um, I, I was good. I was always dedicated, right? Like since 13 or something, I've had like two jobs. Like you know what I'm saying. And as long as stuff makes sense, even if I'm not in control, it got to make sense though. You know what I'm saying? As long as that, I don't got no problem. I could be a good soldier at that point, but now I feel like I have enough experiences where uh, you gotta you gotta put me on some type of a I don't want to say a pedestal, but I'm not just a soldier. You gotta put me you gotta give me some stripes, man. I ain't just a soldier no more. Not at this point in my working career. Just 'cause I got so much experience at working, doing different jobs, working with different people, different companies, different major companies, and seeing how it functions from the inside and how it functions from the outside. Um, man, how they treat you differently when you're an employee versus when you like a guest or whatever. Like you gotta like I got something I'm actually bringing to the table besides hard work. Like I'm bringing that too, but it's some other stuff that come with it, and I need to be compensated properly. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. So, you've been working since you was 13. Do you now know like what's a good company? Like soon as like your first day, you say, "Oh, this is a good company or this is a bad company. Oh, the work culture here suck. Oh, it's a good work culture here. Oh, I'm not gonna be here long. I can see by the first day, or I can see myself staying at this job. Does that run through your mind nowadays?
Abs- Absolutely. And now, and uh, I don't know, many people that like interviews. Like I love interviews, right? Like the more people in the room, the better. Like when I used to work at the jail, that interview probably had the most people in there. Out of all my interviews, I think it was like three people at a time, but it was four different people, like a rotation. And man, shining. You know what I'm saying? Like I just love interviews or whatever. I don't even I can't even really describe it. Like, but if I can teach people interview training, I absolutely would. Like I just love doing interviews. But so now it's to the point where in interviews I can kind of get a sense or whatever. But that first day, I would say that first or second day, I can already tell like, all right, I can kind of lock in here. I can kind of get in the like kind of go with the flow of the stuff that's going on here, or it's this not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I immediately go home and I'll be right back on Indeed. Like, well, this, you know what I'm saying? I got to pay bills, so I'm gonna be on here. But as soon as it's over, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But the interview nowadays tell me so much about companies, and you know what I'm saying, even asking people questions in the interview, there always says like a big part, a big something that you should do. You know, but when you're younger, you don't know like what should I ask? Like, oh, is there benefits? Oh, you got to work a week. Like, you don't really know what to ask. But now, man, I'll be asking all type of stuff. Like, what you know, what do y'all consider diversity? Like, what is a successful disposition? What does it? What does success look like to you guys? Like, you know, what I'm saying like all these questions that you ask, like just being more experienced and based off their reaction, whether it's like, oh man, we haven't heard people ask these questions. I can right then and there I can kind of get a sense like, oh, these people like they don't have no idea what they're doing. They're just here for a paycheck.
Exactly. Exactly. Especially when you start asking about benefits, and it was like,
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah. It's,
like I remember I got a job, right? First of all, it only lasted 2 weeks at this job. But I remember the first day, uh, the manager, he was telling me like, yeah, they would have hired the other person if he would have dressed up for the interview. Like I'm like, what you mean? So you saying y'all hired me because I, look presentable or something? So then on the first day, like slouched down in my chair or on the computer doing some work, and she was like, "Oh, you got to sit up." I'm like, "Y'all paying minimum wage, and y'all trying to." I'm like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna last long." And I just started like not doing nothing really, and then it was like, "Yeah, you said you don't need to come in no more." Oh, like this is horrible. Place ain't even there no more.
Man, hey, I remember it's kind of off topic, man. But I remember like what's your fastest like how long were you at that job?
2 weeks.
That's long.
I
What's
got
your 2 weeks and what? What'd you say?
I only got one paycheck. That's all.
What what's your shortest job? Like what's the shortest you've been at a place or whatever?
This is tough because I had a lot of jobs.
Me too, man. But I got two that stand out because both situations was just hilarious, man. So I was working at I was doing like temp jobs or whatever when I first got home from college, and I was doing like recycle sorting. You know what I'm saying for like Kimball, the trash place or whatever. And so it's a third shift position or whatever. And you know you pop up at I don't know, man, like 8, 9 o'clock or something. You working until like 6 in the morning or something like that, or maybe get there at 10 to 6 a.m. or something crazy. But you just stand there. It's like just you and a bunch of people just standing, y'all just sorting recyclables or whatever. And so I think I was like stand up, falling asleep while I'm sorting. Like I'm just standing there, like probably dead tired. You know what I'm saying? And uh, so I did like so I like finished the night or whatever. Like, dude, it was like probably like one of the hardest physical jobs ever. But it was just so monotonous. Like you just grabbing plastic, grabbing water bottles. Oh, that's a plastic bag. You can't put that in. Like it was just annoying. So anyway, so I go to get my stuff, getting ready to leave or whatever. Dude's like, oh man, he said, make sure you get some sleep tonight. By the time I got to the car, the temp service was calling like, yeah, they said that they didn't want you to return. Like, did something happen last night? I was like, not that I know of. Like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I fell asleep a couple times, like while standing up or whatever. But I'm like, oh, no, like what happened? Like, but you don't never think that they caught you falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't fall. I wasn't like hiding somewhere. I'm standing up. Completely fell asleep a couple times, and before I got to the car, they was like, they don't want you to come back. What happened? I was like, I don't know. So I worked one shift, man.
Probably thought you was on that blue magic.
Like, man, this dude's sleepy, man. He in and out of consciousness. I was just tired, man, because I think at that time I was working 3 jobs, but they were all kind of like temp part-time gigs or whatever. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do what I got to do to make some money. I'm dying. So that was probably the shortest. And then the second shortest is the funniest story. Like I was doing, dude, it's always like warehouse jobs. Like I might not know what my perfect job is, but I know what job I can't do. And that's anything in a warehouse. I just can't do it. I was working at a paper company, and it was like, oh, it was like me and another dude showed up, and we like moving these racks or whatever. And fine. The first day, it sucked. It's boring, but it's money. It's cool. The second day, I'm the only person that show up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the other dude didn't show back up. So I'm asking them like, what they want me to do? Like, well, we still need these racks down here. But I'm like, well, it's only me though. He's like, oh, just take your time, just do what you can. I'm like, you want me to move these racks from one side of a warehouse to another side? I don't have a tow motor. Like, you just want me to grab it and drag the other end down? I'm like, I probably like messed around. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna take a lunch break and I'm gonna come back and finish this out. Man, I just left. I just got in the car and just left, man. I got in the car and went home. You know what I'm saying? I got in the car, man. I went home I think I went and grabbed some. I think I really grabbed lunch and then went home. Like they out their mind. I couldn't believe it. And then the temp service kept calling. I didn't even answer. I'm like, man, like, are y'all serious? Like, you want me to move these? We talk about racks that hold pallets of paper. You want me to move it by my? Y'all crazy, man. For minimum wage, insane, insane. Both of those jobs were jobs when I first, or actually the paper ones when I first came back home from college. I just needed anything, but man,
It do be the warehouse jobs, man. That was the job that I just said. That was they wanted you. Well, they would pick up old books from libraries and recycle some of them, but the ones for some money they put them on eBay. But they wanted you to sort through all of these books. I'm talking big barrels of books, like books, and you had to look through like this is good paper. Like these all this look the same to me. How am I supposed to know what's good paper?
that's funny. Oh, this is good car stock. We got to keep this book.
Minimum wage, like, and you say, like, man, come on, man.
That's funny, man.
I hope companies like that never survive.
Yeah. I can't believe we're just taking old books and like recycling some, selling some, recycling some, selling some. It just seemed like a scam to me, man. Not a scam, but it's like I don't know. That just sound like a horrible job, and it sound like weird business practices. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you get the books for free, then you recycle some of the books, and then you get paid off under the books. But the manager, like him and his wife, they both driving BMWs and shit.
Yeah.
And You tripping because I'm sitting back in my chair. I ain't sitting up straight. Crazy. Things things you do just to get a paycheck.
Man, I'm so glad that it took a long time, to get skills and experiences and stuff. But boy, I'm so glad because I couldn't imagine, man. Some of the stuff be outrageous that they be wanting you to do. Angel said her shortage was 6 days. So y'all be giving them chances, man. Well, I guess you got a paycheck, so I don't want to say y'all be giving them chances, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get paid. But man, man, I just look like I said, I don't know what job is perfect for me, but I know for a fact that warehouse jobs is just not. This is not for me, man. You got any job type that you completely just like it just ain't for you? Like is it retail? Is it I don't know, whatever. But you got anything that you like that's just not for me.
Retail does suck now that you mentioned, but any job where you know what I'm saying, any job that where I'm on my feet the whole entire it's not for me.
This got old, man.
Now, like if I need standing up on my feet all day, this ain't the job for me.
This got old.
But I was saying that no, like, just can't be standing on my feet all day. Now, yeah, it is. Yeah, it does play a factor. Like, I have to wear comfortable shoes to work if I'm be doing a lot of walking. Period. But I gotta be able to sit down when I want to. Like I can't. Like I don't want you to my manager to come look in and say like, hey, you sit down. You can't sit down like that. Ain't that's just. Hmm.
Man, my little cousin, she had like she had like a bad spine or spinal surgery or something. So just standing for a long time it just don't work for her or whatever, right? So man, but she young though. Like in like high school or right out of college or while she was working while she was in college or whatever. And man, I remember her like going to interviews and like demanding that she only she only can work like 4 hours or something. Like she was doing like cashier positions, but she was like demanding that she would only be able to work 4 hours. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but like you can't demand them. You can't demand that they change it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a ADA situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they can find something else for you to do, but you're a cashier and they say you got to stand. You got to stand like this. She be and to her credit, she go in there. She stand her ground. You know what I'm saying? She really do. But man, I'm like, man, you don't got the credentials to be demanding stuff. Like you can't do that.
Hey, but sometimes you got to let them know because I hate to get this job and you got me standing and then look, I can't stand. But it's easier to say, hey, I told you in the interview I can't be doing all this. Oh. Hey, I'm crazy, but for real, like doing a
That's so good.
8 hours, like you tired when you get.
That's funny, man.
As soon as you sit in your car, like you drive home, when you pull up in your driveway, you're not gonna get out your car for another feature. That's, that's real.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Angel said, You rather do what, Angel? And look, and just something I want to add because I keep saying, or the last couple of times I said that I don't know what job is perfect for me. Man, I think I found the perfect job. I didn't even apply for it, but I think I found the perfect job for me. Um, and I didn't even apply, and now it's going forever probably because it's that good of a job. Um,
Me, I'm gonna say the job I'm working at right now, which I would not. 'Cause I don't want to, but the job I'm working at right now is the perfect amount of hours I need, and but then like the work is not all it's not grinding all the time. Some days it is, but then some days it's like okay, I'm gonna do my regular work today, and it's cool. You know, I can deal with that. I want to get off work, and I feel like I don't need to take a nap. And if I gotta take a nap, man,
you gotta take a nap when you first get home. It's not the job for you.
it's just I feel like I gotta take a nap, man.
That's hilarious, man. Angel said, "Oh, I'd rather have someone say up front that they are down for 4 hours versus signing up for 8 and not doing it." I'm with you. I'm with you. Um, I'm just saying, like, you might. It's easier when you got leverage, I suppose. But I guess it is good to be up front though, and you know what I'm saying, like you, like Angel, and like you said, Byron. You know what I'm saying, when they're like, hey, I told you I can't do all this standing. Like, what is this? I told you I can't. You know, so I can do 4 hours as a cashier. The other four gotta be a stock or something. I can't do all this standing, man. With this, I don't know, it just sounds funny to me.
But like, just be realistic. Like somebody that's handicapped that can't walk get a job. Be sitting in a wheelchair all day, right? In your mind, you thinking, why can't I sit down too? It's only right. We're doing the same job. Like, why can't they're a cashier? I'm a cashier. Like, why can't I? They're doing the job and they can sit down. Why can't I do the job?
I'm not saying that it's not fair. I'm saying that I don't know if I'll be thinking that, man. But damn, man, you just get to sit in a chair all day. That's fucking terrible, man. I I can't say accurately that I'll be thinking that. I get what you're saying though.
Only right.
So you said, man. Now look, no, look. Go ahead.
On the application, it says we do not discriminate, religion, creed, sex, any type of handicap. So, but like, why can't I sit down? Like, it should be that should be equal to the job.
So now something I did used to get upset about is like people saying like they're like, oh, they went outside for their cigarette break. I'm like, well, shit, me too. Like, you don't smoke, nigga. They taking a break. Like, I'm going to take a break too. Like, yeah, I don't smoke, but they don't got nothing. Yeah.
Look,
So smoke breaks, I'm with you because
just bring
you
a
know,
smoke too.
yeah, just start bringing some shorties, man. Like, oh yeah, smoke break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm with you. Although smoking and being handicapped is two different things, but I get where you was going with it though. So anyway, so this perfect position for me that I can't reiterate enough that I didn't apply for. Um, do it. So it's a I don't remember like the title of it, or whatever, but it's essentially all right. So we talked about how I felt like HR would be good for me or whatever. It's like taking care of like the employees and all this stuff or whatever. But this job was I can't even. I would say like the description was like, or the examples of what you would be doing is, um, going around the factory, making sure what I'm saying that uh, uh, making sure everybody's good, essentially. Like, but you ain't doing this for customers. You're doing this for the dude running the machine, the lady mopping floor. You're just making sure that everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? If somebody family member is in the hospital, you might have to. Part of your job is to go visit them in the hospital, like bring flowers on behalf of the company, or uh, uh, all this stuff. But you're just making sure that the employees are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Um, so where customer service is that for customers, like you doing the same thing, but just for the employees. And I swear I swear it had to be like the perfect position for me. It was just the perfect job. Um,
Applied, man.
no, it's far and I should at least apply. I didn't even apply for it. I should at least applied and seen, but it's a great job though. Like I would love to just kick it with the coworkers and make sure everything's going good. Like, damn, you having trouble at home? You want to talk to somebody? You want me to set you up with a counselor? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do to help? Like, because that's really I do that now at my current job, and I don't get paid for it. One, And two, I can only do so much because I got other stuff to do. Like I don't have the resources of an entire company behind me. What I can do is offer some words and lend the ear. Saying if you want to if you want to just get it out. Sometimes you want to vent or whatever. So that's all I can do. Saying? But to make it my job to better do that, I would love to do that, man. And this is the first time I've ever seen a job like that ever for any company, big or small. And
Uh,
I'm kind of surprised because I'm kind of surprised.
but they know that it's needed for morale.
Exactly.
Good, and it hits different if your job, seems like they actually care about you. It makes you actually want to work for the job. Now, let me ask you this: you said it was far. Would you consider relocating for a job?
Um,
And say, hey, you got the job, but you'll have to move to Houston, Texas.
H Town, man. I'm definitely open to relocating. Uh, it would have to boy, like, those would be some crazy conversations, making sure that everything lined up perfectly as far as like is there a relocation package, is all these other stuff or whatever. But just in general, being open to it for sure. Um, More specifically, relocating out of the country, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If anybody know a company that wants to relocate people to Switzerland, you know what I'm saying? Want to relocate people to you know, I don't know, but somewhere where they got universal health care and all that stuff, absolutely. Sign me up.
I
Sign
know
me up.
a few people that decided, that after college they were going to work in another country, which is crazy, but the experience was probably amazing, though.
Man, they be getting like they like get like they be having like standard 3 and 4 weeks of vacation standard in other countries. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a child, and what I'm saying, you getting 6 7 months off. You know what I'm saying, or longer. Some for the woman, I think it's like a year in certain countries, like um universal health care. So if you hurt yourself or get sick, you don't have to worry about a crazy hospital bill. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
another show, but all the perks or whatever in different countries. But specifically when you're working, like why would you not want to work in a place that's embracing 4-day work weeks? You know, what I'm saying 3-day weekends. You get all this vacation time. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how many you know how many 20-day cruises are in America?
you said 20-day cruises
20-day cruise, like 20 plus day, not just 20 plus.
in America. I don't know. I heard of ones, over in Europe. It's like
E-
7-day cruise.
Exact. No, that's the whole point. Because we don't get enough vacation time to enjoy those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Some people do, and you work your way up. You know what I'm saying? When you're getting 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks off of vacation, but that's for people that's what I'm saying been that's what I'm saying, that's for people that's in their 40s, late 40s, 50s or whatever, where you got all that stocked up vacation, and you can what I'm saying, afford to take a flight or whatever to Greece, and now you can just sail for 22 days or whatever like that. But they don't have many of them in America because no one, like, who would use it? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't get those type of benefits or whatever. So that was the whole point of me saying, like, I didn't need an actual number, but there are not any or not many in here, but they're all over in Europe. They're all over in Italy. You know what I'm saying? Just a completely different um, respect for their workers. You know what I'm saying? Than in this country. And I don't care who the president. I don't care who the Senate leader, minority leader, like any of that stuff. It's been the same forever. You know what I'm saying? The closest thing we got to it was during the pandemic when you know a lot of people that's kind of taking the power back a little bit by saying I'm only going to work from home or I'm I just don't want to do this job anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
That was the closest thing we even got to it.
uh, Realize, hey, I could have been doing my job from home this whole time. I'm much more comfortable. I'm actually happier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it was, hey, I'm getting money for sitting at home and I'm not even working. I'm getting more money than the job that I was at. It's time for me to find something, that pays a little bit better because now I'm accustomed to that lifestyle
Hmm.
that I was making. Let me, get some more money.
Exactly. And the fact that it was so many people moving around that there were jobs that were better that were available. So people could jump ship. And you just needed workers. Companies needed employees. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a surplus where they can be picky and choosy. They needed people. You know what I'm saying? Therefore you had the power, like, well, I can do it, but I'm gonna need an extra week of vacation, or I can do it, but I'm gonna need XYZ. And companies had to oblige because they needed people. You know what I'm saying? So that was the closest we ever got to holding that power like that. Besides, I mean, ever since like mob time when they destroyed like unions or whatever. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's been companies run shit and we just, chasing them, chasing our tail.
What you mean when mobs how when they destroy unions? Because the mob made sure that the unions were strong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So as the mafia became weaker, and like how many jobs you see now that have a union? There ain't many jobs that have like unions. And every time a company start um, or employees start talking about a union, now it's a big news story because unions aren't as prevalent as it was back in like the 60s or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where they actually was making sure that what I'm saying, just so happened to be the mob, you know what I'm saying, had an interest in it. But when workers could actually demand shit and actually had the power over companies, you know what I'm saying? Like if this shit ain't right, we ain't coming in, you know what I'm saying?
They are.
Or
Oh,
huh?
or what?
If shit ain't right, we ain't coming in. Or we're gonna have people visit you and make the shit right. You know what I'm saying? And they were, what I'm saying, companies had to respect their employees and had to respect the unions or whatever. But now it wasn't like that for a long time.
But there are jobs out here still that have strong unions and those are horrible jobs because like job security nowadays damn near doesn't exist. But if you work at a job with a strong union, then you can feel comfortable, like, hey, I can make um, life changing financial decisions because I know I have a job in 5 years, 10, as opposed to, yeah, this job pays good, but such and such, I haven't seen them around work anymore. And all the management says is, hey, they don't work here no more.
I had a buddy used to say, he was like, "All right, man, keep." He wouldn't say to me, but like, "All right, man, keep it up. We ain't gonna know you no more." I just thought that was a cool way of saying like, "You're gonna get fired. Like we just ain't gonna hear nothing from you."
Mhm.
Thought that was super cool. Uh, we ain't gonna know you no more. Angel said you don't want to go too rural. I don't mind going rural. I don't know. It was a good job. She said 14-day cruise to Spain from Baltimore was $1,400. All right, so that's not bad. That's still only 14 days though. We talking about an extra week minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like an extra 7 days. Like they just don't have those things here, man. Um, Go ahead.
Definitely money, and then you'll have better, a better job attitude because you're working at a job that you want to be at. But you
Exactly.
quiet though.
Yeah. Yeah. So until then, you bide your time, and when it's time to do something else, you do something else. All right. Last thing before we get out of here, what's your so just talking about different aspects of jobs and interviews and all that stuff. Like what's some, and I know you just got back in your gig or whatever, but what's some mandatory things for you? Like what's some stuff that like you have to have on the table when you're looking for a new job or a new position? Clearly money, I'm sure, is gonna be high on the list, but besides that, like what else is on your list of must have things?
The medical benefits for sure. Because God forbid you get hurt, and I have gotten hurt while on the job, but luckily my medical was good enough because I had to have 2 surgeries down there back to back. But just imagine if you working at a job, you working at a job and you get hurt, can't go to now you can't go to work because this job doesn't even offer sick time or vacation days.
Hmm.
Don't have enough to pay for the surgery. Like now you double messed up. So that's number one. I mean, then number two is the pay, but that's already self-explanatory. They gotta pay me good.
Right.
Three, nowadays is like the work culture. Like, you know, I've been at jobs where I felt like, damn, as soon as you clock in, it feel like they're trying to fire you. Like, damn,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? They strict about everything. So the work culture for sure. And job security.
Yeah, those are big, man. That I guess until rather recently, I never thought about how important like um like the health benefits and stuff, being part of a job, like how important it is or whatever. Um, I mean, I'm completely anti. The only way to get health insurance is to have a job. Like that's fucking ridiculous to me. That's a whole nother government issue. But so that was always lower on my list. But as I move forward, that definitely would be towards the higher end, along with pay and culture as well. But like I say, I'm to the point where I kind of know early if this is going to work out or if it's going to work out or not. And yeah, I don't have no problem with saying like, well, it's not a good fit, man. It's like this ain't gonna work out for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even recently, taking some interviews and stuff inside my organization, and it's like, no, this is not. It's not really. Oh, we think you'd be really good for it. Like, yeah, it's not doing the job. I think I can do the job, but am I gonna be happy doing the job? Probably not. So it's just not for me. Um, any closing remarks on employment, career, transitioning into different positions?
I mean,
Go
I
for
was
it.
talking about, getting jobs that didn't focus on degrees or nothing. We just talking about the regular work, the work world, the blue collar worker. But if you're like 18, I would say go to school and get a degree first. So you don't even have to you can start off up here rather than down here. You don't even have to worry about none of this nonsense. I mean, it's still gonna be there, but it's a little bit different when you're when you're in the corporate world opposed to the blue collar world. But you still gonna have the issues of healthcare, et cetera, but it'd be a little bit better for you.
So I'm gonna go similar, but I'm gonna go not necessarily degree in college because I suggest people take some of these quizzes or whatever and kind of find some information about you and your personality and the stuff that you like. I mean, clearly if you got stuff like me in warehouses that it's just not a good fit, then you already know that part. But like, what type of stuff would you enjoy doing? You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of just look into those fields. Because I understand that academic school not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So go to trade school. You know what I'm saying? Go figure it out. Go figure out if you love to paint cars or work on cars or um I don't know, do respiratory or something. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But there's plenty of like trades and training you can do online and all this stuff now. Um, but one of the best advice I ever got was you can never have enough pieces of paper with your name on it. So even if it's stuff that you might not need right now or might not think makes sense, get it anyway. If you got an opportunity to do it and just put it in your back pocket because they can never take that away from you. Never take that part away. All right, man. So we about to get out of here, but we want to remind you once again June 17th, go ahead and sign up for our 5K second annual Epiphany.5K.run. June 17th, coming up quick, a couple weeks. Um, benefiting mental health awareness and working with and during the course again. Come out and support and or volunteer, like whatever you got going on. We can definitely use your help and and all that good stuff. June 17th, just send us a message, get in contact with us, and let's start a dialogue for sure.
Be sure to show up and show up. The people who it benefits will most definitely thank you for your contribution. But you got to come out. So sign up.
That's what it come down to.
Other than that, remember to own your own and have a great week.
Yeah, everybody have a great week. Be safe. Salute to the city as always, and we'll see y'all next week.
Remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own.
Salute to the city as always.
And remember to own your own.
And salute to the city as always.
Remember to own your own. We'll see y'all next week. Remember to own your own. It's very important, like I say every show.
Salute to the city as always. As always, salute to the city.